Okay, welcome to Stitch Crazy. Today we're going to continue working with squares and triangle blocks. Today I'm going to make, it's called like an easy quilt block. With the supplies that you're going to need for the program is a sewing machine, which I did not bring today, but you'll need a sewing machine. Your rotary cutter and boards, like your boards here, and your rotary cutter. That's the cutter here. A scissors. You're going to need your pattern, material, iron. Sometimes if you want to use graph paper for making your pattern, you can do that. A pencil and pen. So those are just a few of the supplies that you would need today for this block. This is the block, the finished block that we're going to make today. And as you can see, it's squares and then the triangle squares. There's triangle squares. So it's just a basic block, but it looks different than the other blocks that we've made because of the color layout of it. Okay, and I'll show you the difference of this one once we get the block completed with a couple of the other ones that we've done in the past. Okay, so for this block we are going to need 8 squares of one color, which is the color here. This pink is what I used. I need 8 of those. And you're going to need 4 squares of like the black in this case. And then we need 5 squares of the white, which is in the corners and the middle. Okay, and then you're going to need 4 blocks to make into the 8 triangle squares, which are this one here. I picked the black, and then the white or the cream is the background fabric. Anytime it's kind of like all the way around is kind of considered the background fabric. These are the secondary colors and the third color. Okay, so I have cut ahead the squares. Okay, and now I'm going to kind of show you the technique again like we did in the past on making the triangle squares. Okay, just to kind of a quick, and I have also gone over this same technique on programs before that we have done. So these here are 4-inch blocks. This is a 6-inch block. I always kind of like to do them in different sizes so you can see in different color, the different layout of the different colors. Okay, so these are 4-inch finished, or I should say unfinished because we haven't sewed it together yet. So on this one, the 4 will actually be a 3.5 when we're done, because I only take a 1/4 inch seams on these. Now, if you want to take a bigger seam, you just have to take that into consideration when you're cutting your blocks. Okay, so this was a 6.5, and when it's sewed, it's finished at 6. So right now, it's not quite 6 because this seam isn't in there yet. But this here block that's got all the seams is a finished 6-inch block. Okay? So to make the triangle squares, you have to have these squares bigger because you lay them together, and then I have a tool that's got like a little space in the middle here, and I lay my 2 blocks down, and I put this corner to corner, and I mark it, and then I sew on each side of it. So you can see my sewing here, and then what I'm going to do is so like this block I cut, if I want it finished 4, I cut it like 4.5 or 4 3/4 depending on how you stitch it. So then I cut them apart, and then on this one here you can iron it or just press it down with your fingers. Okay, and then I have to cut this down so that it will equal the 4. As you can see, it's bigger. Okay, so I'm going to take my board here, which I got a new board. I'm kind of excited about it. It turns it around so I don't have to move my fabric. I'm really excited. Can you tell? And I just waited till it was like 40% off or 50% off, and then got it at that time so that it was cheaper. Okay, so I laid my block down here, and I take my ruler, and there's a line going down the middle of the ruler. So I'm gonna line that up with this, where the two colors meet in the middle. And then I'm going to cut this down. So I line that line up in the middle, and I want to find I want it 4 inches when I'm done. And I usually like to cut all the way around just to make sure. So I'll cut off a little bit on the first 2 sides. And then I'm going to turn my board. And then I'm going to lay it down again, and I'm going to put my 4 inches, line my 4 inches here and 4 inches here, and then I'm going to cut this off. And then that should be the same size. Okay. And I'll just quickly do this second one too, so that we have enough blocks to do our sample here. I'm just going to line up that middle diagonal, and I'm just going to make sure it's not at the 4, and I'm going to cut the 2 sides off. With this I can just twist it. Otherwise you have to pick up your board or pick up your fabric, whichever. And then I'm going to line up my 4 inches at the bottom and have my triangle there. And it's probably easier if you stand up when you're cutting. Okay, and then I'll throw those away. So I'll put that board over there. And I'm going to put my rule over here because I'm done with that. I'm done with my rotary cutter and my scissors. Okay. And this.
Get 3 months free access on all lines plus a new 4G smartphone for only $4.99 a month. 2 great offers with Valley Cellular. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to take advantage of this great deal.
Okay, so now I have all my blocks cut out. I have my cream squares, my pink, my black, and my two-tone. So now I'm going to lay this block out. So on this one, I put the tan as my middle. And I want 2 down, 2, down all the way, and 2 across. And I pinned one to my paper. It's like, where did it go? Okay. So then my next color, 1, 2, 3. My black is going to be, I went different colors than this one just to show you how different it will be. Those are my outer ones then. And I always have my pattern sitting here kind of going, and you'll be able to tell when you're done if it doesn't look right. Just move your blocks around. Okay, I'm going to put those in the middle, my 4. Okay. And then I'm going to put my, go this way. Yeah, there we go. And, you know, if you get it wrong and you stitch it together, it's okay. Unless you're going to enter it into competition, it's not the end of the world. It can be that way because it's your quilt. You can have your quilt whatever way you want it to be. That did happen to me one time. I had sewn, well, my block of the month. I had all my quilt top done, and I had it machine quilted. It was hanging in the quilt show, and I come up to it and I noticed it right away, No one else noticed that there was one little square turned the wrong way. But I noticed it. I didn't notice it when I had it laying out to go to the quilter or when we laid it out at the machine quilters. But once it was hanging up on the wall, I noticed it. It was too late to change it, so it was, it's going to be that way forever. And I don't think anyone else noticed it. It was just me. So, okay. Sometimes that's what takes the longest, is cutting your blocks out and or making sure you have enough blocks for everything. Okay, so then now what we do, once we have all of our blocks laid out, if you have your own table for this, and then what I would do is I sew like 2 at a time, so you can go like that and then like this, and you can take it to the machine, stitch it, come lay it out, stitch this, lay it out, and then stitch these 2 together. And then you can go up onto the next row while you're doing, like you're stitching these, then you can put these 2 together and these 2 together. And so you can kind of make it so you keep sewing pieces together and then lay them out back down again, and then sew your row together kind of in steps so it goes faster. Or you can just take one, then take the other, then take the other. So there's different ways that you can sew them together. Sometimes we want, oh, quick, 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 quick. Quilting is not quick. But there are techniques that make the cutting faster, make the sewing faster, makes it a little bit quicker to get these on together at once. But as you can see, these 2 are the same design, different sizes, and the color layouts are different. Okay?
Valley is now offering updated digital TV packages and prices. High definition and caller ID is now free with all TV packages. Call Valley today at 437-2615 to find out more.
Okay, now I brought, as you can see, this was the block that we made last month. It's similar, except for the colors are different. So this block is called a different design than this block. But with the same colors, you can kind of see these are squares and triangle squares. These are squares and triangle squares. So it's just the color layout of the 2 blocks that make it a different block, okay? And I think that to start out, the squares and the triangle squares are probably the easiest. You can just do all squares and make them different colors, and that will make your blocks different too, okay? So this is another sample from last month with just the different colors than the one I just had here. And these are squares and triangles. The month before, we had the heart, squares, and triangles. So look, see how different they all look, but they're all made with squares and triangles. And then this last one was that heart. And that one's squares and triangles. Okay, so these are a few things that I thought I would show you.
Faster than fast internet is here. Valley now has higher broadband speeds of up to 1 gigabit. Get the bandwidth you need for all your devices at one time. Gaming with no lag time. Video stream your favorite movies instantly in HD quality. Video chat with friends and family without interruption. Download your favorite music and photos in seconds. All on our 100% fiber optics network. Valley offers managed Wi-Fi and backup services too, bringing together all the services you need. Valley Telecommunications Cooperative.
Sometimes when I'm doing a block, You can use graph paper where they have the blocks already on here, and then you can use these blocks to help make your design here. And then you can use colored pencils to make, like if you want a certain color in there, you can shade it in wherever you want. So you can use this graph paper, and you can buy this at the fabric store too. I just thought I would show you that. Another thing I found at the store that was kind of cute, and sometime I'll probably have a program on that too, is there's fabric sheets that you can put through your inkjet printer. So if you want to print a picture, maybe put it in the middle of your quilt, then you can have that and build a quilt block out from that. So I haven't tried this yet. Other people have. It's wonderful. And I did find a couple other tools too. When I did a program before, I showed you like the different types of fabrics, how you can buy them in the 5-inch pre-cuts, the 10-inch, and jelly roll. They're the 2.5-inch. Well, I found these really neat rulers that you can use like for your 2.5-inch jelly rolls. You can just lay this on there and cut your pattern. This one is a mini Dresden plate. This one is like a mini hex. This is for the 2.5-inch strips that are already cut. And then this is a diamond. So these are some new tools that I found. I thought that'd be kind of fun to do. It will make cutting the 2.5-inch strips quicker when you're doing a pattern. So I hope you have enjoyed my show today. If you have any questions, or if you want to be a host, or if you have any ideas for a show, please call me at 437-2615. Thank you.